Hello, dear ones. I'm Suzanne, in case you don't know me. Welcome to my channel, Making It in Maine. I am in my sewing room, sitting at my backup sewing machine, inexpensive, but not bottom of the barrel, brother sewing machine. My beloved Janome needs some attention from the sewing machine doctor. So anywho, I am up here at my sewing machine and I mustered up the courage to get back to my little pink and brown basket quilt. And I decided that I just don't feel like tearing blocks apart. Well, I did have to tear one apart, just pulling this piece out of the rubbish. It was getting hung up on the seams because some of them, there's a lot coming together. So this one, I don't know if you can see how frayed that edge is. But it was just getting chewed up by my machine. And so I did have to rip that out and replace that one section of the block. Oh, my hair is a fright because I've been wearing my glasses for close work. Blah-de-blah. Anyway, I decided I don't feel like tearing blocks apart. And I'm not going to let perfection be the enemy of the good. Not letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. So I am just soldiering on as the blocks are. So I have put the setting triangles to this block. And my next row is here. Yeah, as you can see, things are not perfect. Look at that, how the point doesn't meet the edge like it does here. Yes, would I be happier if everything was precise? Yes. But in the end, when it's all done, I don't think a person looking at it is going to be focusing on everything that's not perfect. They're just going to be, I hope, looking at it and seeing what a sweet little pink and brown quilt that is. So in between, SEW, so in between these blocks, as I'm joining them, I am putting together these blocks. So these are sort of my leaders and enders for my Alaska quilt with laundry basket fabric. And I've done these two sections, this section and this section. And I also realized this morning, so this is block 10 I'm working on. I realized that I skipped block 9. So I will have to do that after I do this. But this fabric, I think I mentioned in my last video how I loved the butterscotchy, what else? I didn't call it butterscotch. The rusty color. I don't remember what word I used, but this, out of this particular block, this is one of my favorite fabrics from this block. I just love that chestnutty color. So pretty. And then I guess my second favorite would be, this beautiful blue fabric. So that's what I'm working on up here in my sewing room today. All right, I take that back. This is not rust. This is a deep gold, but it's gorgeous. I just thought I needed to come back and say that. You might be beginning to think that I'm colorblind. As I was having breakfast this morning at the dining room table, my quilt that needs a binding on it is laying on the table right now because that's where I filmed last. And I got thinking, because I was auditioning 3 different fabrics to potentially use for the binding, and I decided I think I'm going to try facing that quilt instead of doing a traditional binding. Yes, I think I have enough of the backing fabric, and I think that should work. So I've never done it before, so why not give it a whirl? I will keep you posted on that. Well, I'm back with not an update on the progress of the pink and brown quilt right now. That'll have to be in the next video, I suspect, but just a few fun random things to finish out this video. I noticed that my calendar in my sewing room was still on April, so I flipped it to May. Speaking of May, even though it's May, I'm still wearing a flannel shirt because it's still so chilly some days. But I also have a little tiny, let me get to the front of it, a little tiny calendar. This is from 2009. But this is a local artist here in Maine. Her name is Toki Oshima. And I have a few of these little calendars. I don't know that she still makes them. I also had a larger one one year also. But 2009 happens to be the same. It aligns with 2026. So I've been, this is on the shelf near my sewing machine. And so I've been flipping this each month also when I remember to flip. But yeah, her drawings are just so sweet. I don't know if that's in, let's see, let me show you what April was. Here's April. Just love her artwork. It's just so sweet. March. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. February. And let's look at January, and that will be it. January is more music. I think she was a musician too, either she or her husband. But anyway, just a super sweet calendar, and I'm happy that it's the same as 2026, so I can flip it along. All right, well, with this being the 250th anniversary of the United States, you know, there's so much on the internet about it, and quilters are doing so many red, white, and blue things. There are so many patterns and so many fabrics, and I've never been wildly into red, white, and blue quilts or Americana per se, but I have done a few things. This is a rug, a little mat that I hooked several years ago. This could be considered Americana, I think. Cute little black cat. It's been a while since I've done some rug hooking. I get into different jags. Sometimes I feel like hooking, and sometimes I feel like quilting, and sometimes I feel like knitting. And so it's been a while since I've done some hooking. And I do love it. So yeah, might have to just pull some out and do a little bit from time to time, maybe once a week or something. I don't know. We shall see, said Big Max. You'll have to go back and look at some of my other videos if you want to know why I sometimes say we shall see, said Big Max. All right. This is one pattern I bought years ago that would be Americana-ish, patriotic-ish. It's a Renee Plains pattern, and I love her little patterns. That might have to be a deep dive for an upcoming video. Maybe my next video will be a Renee Plains deep dive. But this is the pattern. Let me take it out so we avoid the glare. That is the quilt pattern. And you see she has a little Lady Liberty there, and a baby Lady Liberty. That's a pin. Yes, the pattern is called Give Me Liberty. And I actually pulled some fabric years ago. This fabric has been pulled for such a long time, but I pulled this for the background. I don't even know if that would be enough background fabric. 1.5 yards. I don't know that that's 1.5 yards, but there it is. And I also have some blue star fabric, and it would just take a variety of other navy prints and a beige. I really like this quilt, so maybe someday. But I made this doll years ago and gave it to, here's the template for her. I gave it to my friend that died of cancer a few years ago. She's the one who got me into so many of these lovely handcrafts, rug hooking. I had started rug hooking before I met her, but seeing her projects and stuff is what really got me passionate about it. And wool applique is what I learned from her. Yeah, just she was so talented. So I gave that doll to her. And I want to make another one, but I need to sew up the side seam on this little girl and put a pin on her back. But here's my little baby Lady Liberty. Her hat, not her hat, her crown, what do you call it, is just some cardstock. And then you use a micron pen to make the little dashes around her and also to create her face. But isn't she adorable? Yes. Yeah. So it's a sweet little pin. I think I think I made one for my friend too. Gave her both. I found a photo of the set I made for my friend. I have some pieces in here, some more of the crown. I don't know what else to call it, so I'll call it a crown. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to make another bigger doll to go with my baby. So that is Lady Liberty. I don't think I've done anything else that's Americana or patriotic. I don't think I have. But this is the largest project, and this quilt is in my Etsy shop, and part of me, I think, hopes it doesn't sell. Maybe people think it's too expensive. But if it doesn't sell, that's okay with me. And I'm probably not going to be able to show you. Let me grab this chair to see if I can get far enough away. So here is my biggest Americana project. And there's the bottom. And I pieced the back also. Tried to make them each side similar because I didn't have enough of this print. So that's why I pieced the back. So that's it for my patriotic Americana projects that I have made. And now I'm going to show you a recent haul. I've never used that term before, so this is my debut of a haul, calling it a haul. Just something that I recently bought. Probably shouldn't have, because my goodness, I've got enough around here, projects and materials and fabric and wool to take me to the grave perhaps. But I was on some fabric designer, and I don't remember her name. I think she's a fabric designer. I was on her YouTube channel and saw a quilt that I just thought was absolutely stunning. And here is a printed picture of it. I have this thing for purple and rusty color fabrics. And before I show you any more about this, I'm going to go get something. What else is new? I'm always running off to get something. An art teacher friend that I used to work with, she did a lot of screen printing too, but she did some prints on fabric, and she gave them to me. And so you can see that sort of is a nod to purple and rust or gold. You can actually see the fabric she printed on the back. And here's another one. I think that has the same. Yep. I just think they're sweet. And I have wanted to figure out what to do with them. This one, I don't know which side is the correct. I think maybe this side, because you don't see the little green and cream print through this side. I think they're pretty. But I put these fabrics near those blocks, thinking that I could somehow use those blocks in conjunction with these fabrics. Oh, so pretty. I think that's a Joe Morton fabric, quite sure. Could check the salvage, but yeah, I don't think it's not the right salvage. Anyway, there they are. My rusts and purples. And see, I think those would look nice if I could figure out. I wish there was a fourth one of these though. But there isn't, alas. Maybe I would leave this one out since it doesn't really read any purple. Oh well, anywho. So there they are. Super pretty. Super pretty. You can see the color. Love this one especially. That's my very favorite of these. And that one's really pretty too. You see? Yes. And then fabrics that aren't reproduction looking are these. This is one in particular. Super cute. I think this is something and Irene. Yes, Lewis and Irene. Lewis and Irene. I think this is the sweetest fabric. And there again, it's got some of that purple and rust or golden color. I just love it. And there's some yarn. Perfect for me because I quilt and I knit. And then I have these, a couple of purplies to go with it, to go with those. So yes, I just have this thing about purple and gold, purple and rust. I just love that so much. Yeah, I haven't made a lot of modern-ish quilts, so this would be, I guess, the most modern for me. Let me see what else it says here. I think I found a free pattern. Pardon me for licking my finger. The pattern is called Wandering Nomad. I believe it was free. And yeah, something, oh, on the back, yes. Guess there's nothing on the back that reveals where it came from. Sorry, I can't provide more information, but I scared up some fabric. Oh, here's the actual pattern from the Art Gallery Quilts. It's a free pattern from Art Gallery Quilts. And it's called is So Bohemian the fabric or the pattern? That one's pretty too, but that one this one is the one that I adore. Which one do you like better? Which is your favorite? Which one would you make? The one mostly purple and gold, or teal and purple and gold? Which is your favorite? I cut some swatches out of the fabric that I ordered initially, and then I was like, I'm gonna order some more. I found it on Etsy, I think. Anyway, let me show you the fabrics. This one I adore. I think this is my favorite out of all of them. And then there's this one. This one has some bees on it. Lavender and bees. Lately, some of the fabrics, newer fabrics that I've purchased recently, they feel, they almost feel like, I don't know, a mix of cotton and rayon or something. They just, I don't know what it is. All right, this fabric is Crafting Magic by Maureen Cracknell. That's this fabric line. All right, moving right along. This is another one. This one seems very southwestern to me. My daughter had a thing for southwestern fabrics for a while. Don't know if she still does or not. I should ask. And there's this one. Love this color. Pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And solids. 2 solids. I love it so much. So that's a project down the road. Don't ask me when, because I've got a gazillion in the queue. All right, dear ones. I don't think I will be back with anything else today. That's going to be a wrap for today. From my heart, my pea-picking heart, as my mother used to say, from my heart to yours. Bye for now.